Got him. Yeah, nice. All right, guys, fish on. Fish on. Oh, I see eyeballs down there. I see eyeballs. Oh, nice fish. Not as big as I thought, actually. It's a nice fish for us. Come here, bud. Oh. There we go, in the boat, number one. That fish on hook. All right, fish number one. About a 21, 22 incher. No giant, but nice start. Woo! Jeez Louise, big splash. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are out of Small Boat Harbor this morning. Got the windmills in the background, and this is day 2 of 7 days on Lake Erie, hopefully. We'll see if the weatherman is correct. But anyway, we are out here doing pretty much LiveScope only. We're gonna be casting all day today. These fish are in a transition period, and they are being little pains in my butt, basically, because they are pretty much everywhere except everywhere in one spot. They're all spread out. There's fish still spawning off of Hamburg, there's fish spawning off the windmills, there's fish spawning in the gaps, there's fish out in 55 feet of water, there's fish in 40 feet of water. And so yesterday, about 9:30, found a nice school of fish. No, I shouldn't say nice school, but enough fish to fish for out in about 52 feet of water. And so I was actually headed right back there this morning and said, we got to go over and check a spot in 40 foot, which is in between those two spots, basically. And wouldn't you know, sure enough, there they are. Tons of bait, lots of fish, and they seem very, very active this morning. So we're gonna take advantage as best we can of this low light period, and there's no other boats out here, except for Carl. Carl is over there somewhere. I think he's over in North Gap. We're gonna take advantage of this low light period and really try to put the smack down on him. And then maybe we'll keep smacking him into the daylight, or we'll have to move out farther. We'll see. So appreciate you guys for checking this video out. Check out buffalotackle.com. Use code WorldsWorld at checkout. Running the 8.6 medium light Riversider. We'll get more into that rig as we kind of get a little bit more light. It's a little tough when it's dark. And then paired with a Kuma Sapphire. So let's get back to it. Got him, fish on, got him. Ooh, what is that? That is not a walleye. Oh, big silver. Wow. Big silver. No wonder he came over and frickin' crushed it. You guys that fish the lower or fish the Niagara a bunch, you guys would love to take that fish home. Wow. All right, throw him back. That was pretty cool. A lot of you guys would take that home for dinner. Pretty cool. We got a fish pretty much straight below us. Let's see here. That one's gone. A lot of bait in here this morning. Out deep, there was definitely a lot of perch and stuff. I'm not sure if these are perch. They look a little small to be perch. Doesn't mean they're not just small perch, but yesterday there was some big perch out there for sure. Alright guys, so all we're doing here, we're in about 40 feet of water, and we're just nosing into the waves real slow. Actually gonna go a little faster so we cover a little more water. And then we're just taking the LiveScope, and I'm looking out 120 feet right now. Ooh, there's a nice mark. I don't even have a worm on. We're still gonna try them. So I got a nice mark out about 70 feet. Ooh, we're gonna hit them right on the dome, it looks like. Might have been just a couple feet short. It was. Drill in real quick. Let's try that. Ooh, that's gonna hit him. Ooh. Ooh, that fish does not seem like it cares. That's all right. Sometimes it happens. So we're just, nosing into the wind and the little bit of waves there are, and just making precise casts, really. And just putting a half a crawler on here, leaving a little tail for a little action. And so, the boat spun right there. Wow, that is a beautiful sunrise back there. So there's that fish again. We're gonna try that fish one more time. Too nice of a mark not to be making a cast at it. Looks like I missed again. So I'm just using the remote. But he had it for a second. Definitely does not have it. And so what it seems like is happening is these fish, we're in 40 foot, as I said earlier. And what's happening is these fish are cruising in the top like 20 feet of the water column. And they're literally, you can almost see them, like they're just looking down. They're just looking down at these schools of bait. And all of it like right there, like there's a school of perch that are probably 300 or 400 fish. Look at that. That's all perch. And like there's so much bait, there's not even walleyes on that school. And so what it seems like is going on is it's almost hard to compete with that much bait. Like, it's crazy. And then when they do bite, they seem finicky, like they're short biting and whatever. So I don't know, we might not stick on this school for too long. It is good to know that there are some fish right here. So now we're just back on the hunt. Oh, there's a nice mark. Let's go get over next to this one. I almost need like a stinger hook. I've had a couple of them short bite it, or you get them in and get them a couple cranks in, and they just come off. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Ooh, that looks like a nice mark. Wish I would have cast it about 5 feet farther. Actually, that might work out perfect. Got him! Ooh, yeah! Ooh, that feels like a little bit nicer fish. We're gonna spot lock. Ooh, that is a nice fish. Wow. I am not ready for this fish, folks. Oh yeah. Bam. Oh yeah, boys. Guys. Bam. That's a nice fish right there, man. All right, quick picture. We'll get him back. All right, guys, one more look, going back. Oh, what a great time of the year. See ya, bud. Wow, he's feisty. Wow, guys. Wow, wow, wow. That is pretty cool. Saw that fish. It was about 15 or 20 feet down and made a pretty perfect cast, I guess. I honestly didn't think it was. And let that bait go down, and it swam over and just freaking crushed it. So this is the bait of choice this morning. This one's made by Crush City, no affiliation. I think it's a new company made by Rapala, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the 3-inch version. We can find you the color and the size, and we'll put it in the comments if you guys need to know. And then just a 1/2 ounce, I think that's this VMC jig head 2X hook. We don't like to mess around with hooks. And then got that paired up with the 8.6 Riverside medium light, and then the Okuma Sapphire with 20-pound braid. And so we'll talk more about what I learned yesterday and what adjustments I made here later in the morning, but leader length and leader diameter might be making a little bit of a difference this morning. So we're gonna get set back up here and try to catch another one. All right, guys. Well, that was pretty epic right there. That was a good fish, real good fish. Probably, I don't know, it's probably 25, 26-inch fish. I mean, that is no slouch. And yeah, I don't know. It freaking about 15 feet down. Saw it about 100 feet out, got nice and close to it, and it just came over. And I think you guys watched. I think the camera's rolling, but you do gotta work them a little bit. It's not like some days you get it close to them and like they don't even show up right on the screen because they're moving so fast. It doesn't seem like today is one of those days yet. Doesn't mean it's not gonna happen at some point. It just ain't gonna be right now. And so we're just back on the hunt. Buddy. See if we can nail this one for you guys. Might have been a little short on my cast. Let's see if this fish, oh, maybe not. Come here, bud. Oh boy. Oh. Come on. Oh yeah. Come on. Oh. Come on. Oh, not away with that. Oh. Oh. Got him! Yes! Bam! Woo! Ooh, this feels, oh. 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 Wiggin. All right. Move this camera for you guys. Not a big one at all, but if you were eating, that'd be a nice one to eat. All right. Fish going back. See you. Man, what a difference a day makes, and also just maybe a different school of fish. I don't know. It's tough to say, but this bait made by Rapala, I'm pretty sure it's Rapala. I'm gonna say Rapala all day long, and it's not. But by Crush City, they seem to be liking it. So we're gonna keep throwing it. But so what's going on here, guys? Let me hit the spot lock here real quick. So like what's going on, these fish are here because we're in between a whole bunch of spawning water, all inside of us here. You know, we got the windmills right in the background basically. That is all spawning grounds, and so as those fish start to come off of basically their beds and out of their spawning water, they basically find the first deep water with bait. And today this happens to be it. And so like every day this will start to load up more and more and more, because they're still crushing fish in the dark, you know, trolling in 8 to 10 feet of water, sometimes shallower than that even. And so over the progression of this week, I should start to see more and more and more fish start to show up. And usually when that happens, they get a whole lot more bitey. And so we'll see what happens. I think Carl's coming out here right now, and I think he's gonna try to do some trolling through them. We'll see what that looks like. And we'll just see what happens. So far, great morning. Yeah, appreciate you guys for watching. Let's go try to catch another one. Alright guys, so they're starting to act a little shy, it seems like. So, I'm gonna downsize a little bit. Same swim bait style, but just about, I think it's a 2.5 inch. Put a little nugget of worm on here. Alright, let's see what we can do. Alright guys, so they're starting to act a little shy, it seems like. So, I'm gonna downsize a little bit. Same swim bait style, but just about, I think it's a 2.5 inch. Put a little nugget of worm on here. Alright, let's see what we can do. Alright guys, fish on. Fish on. Ooh, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, nice walleye. Yeah, here's another one. Ooh, barely hooked. Nice fish. I don't know what number that is, but 5 or 6, I think. Going back. Awesome. I was watching the graph, more watching the map than the graph actually, but realized we had gotten pretty far away from where we originally started this morning, and so I kind of just cruised back up there with the trolling motor and downsized my bait. We were still throwing that little 2.5 inch, just a brown swim bait, and then a 1/2 ounce jig head. And I'll talk a little bit about the adjustments I made from yesterday. So yesterday the fish seemed really spooky. Now it could have been a number of things. We know that they get scared because of the transducer. We know they get scared because of the boat bouncing in the waves, which yesterday wasn't a problem. Today it is a little more wavy, and so that could be a problem. But anyway, what adjustments I made? So we got 20-pound leader or a 20-pound main line on for braid. And you know, that looks pretty large in the water, honestly. And we have gin clear water out here. We got about 20 feet of viz, and I know because I saw a fish 20 feet down on the LiveScope, and I could see it down there thrashing. And so I got about a 7 to 8 foot long 8-pound leader, whereas yesterday I was running like a 2 foot long 10-pound leader. And so made a couple adjustments, rigged up a couple other rods, and really lengthened out the leaders. And you know, it's hard to say. It could be making a difference, it might not be making a difference, but either way, we're catching some fish, so we're gonna get another worm on here and get back to it. Oh, that's much better. All right, so we've been fishing for I don't know, 20 minutes. Seems like this school has really faded off. The bait kind of disappeared, the fish, well, there's a big mark right there. But anyway, the fish kind of disappeared. Facing right into the sun, that's not ideal. And I don't know, I stopped seeing like the nice big suspended marks, that's for sure. Let's see if this big fella wants to come up and play. Does not seem like it. Oh. Nope. So it seems like what's going on, what the LiveScope's telling me is these perch schools have gotten pinned to the bottom. And so now those nice big suspended marks that I had a little bit ago have started to fade off. So I think we're gonna roll on out of here. Put this troller up, and I think we're gonna run over to the other spot in 40 feet of water and see what it looks like over there. So, all right, let's do it. Oh, geez, whoa, wait. Alright guys, ran over to 40 feet of water where we were yesterday and had some action. I did not LiveScope in here yesterday, so we'll see. Alright, see what we can do. Got him! Yeah! Nice! Woo! That's a nice fish. Fish was 40 feet down, right on the bottom. Plucked them. Starting to get a little windy. Ooh, nice fish. In the boat. Come here, bud. Look at that, right in the roof of the mouth. Perfect. Nice, probably 19, 20. Throw them back. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm not seeing nearly as much bait over here, which, you know, it's a good, I would say it's a good thing and a bad thing. There probably won't be as many fish around because there isn't much bait around, but the ones you do find, you don't have 150 perch, you know, competing with your bait basically, which makes it very challenging. When you got pretty much, you know, you're trying to imitate perch and gobies and maybe some smelt later in the year, it can make it very challenging, you know, to compete with the real thing, you know. All right. I don't know what number that is. It's gotta be 6 or 7, I would think. All right. New worm is on. Let's roll. Alright guys, and so something that's kind of a key part to doing this, now that the wind is blowing a little bit and we got a more sustained, you know, wind direction and wave direction, I'm just going real slow into the wind, because what happens is if you're going the other way, you fly and like all of a sudden you're on top of them, and if they don't bite it and the jig gets under the boat and the boat starts dragging it, they almost never bite it. And so you're pretty much forced to go this way. And so basically, like, you go this way for a quarter mile and you might as well pick up, run back down that way, and then do it again through the section that you want to fish. There's a nice mark. But honestly, I would say a little bit of wind, not crazy, because you don't want the transducer bouncing out of the water, you don't want the trolling motor bouncing out of the water, but a little bit of wind and wave definitely helps. Wow, these are 2 nice marks. So I'm still on continuous right here. I'm gonna come off continuous. These fish are at 70 feet. Let the boat come to a stop. Grab my rod, hit spot lock. Where'd they go? All right, they're swimming away from me. Come off a spot lock. We gotta go chase them again. So like, this is the finicky part. Like, everybody's like, oh, you just see them and catch them. It's not that way. This is actually 2 fish. I might have to get a little closer to them. Oh, there's a 3rd one. Alright, so I just spot locked, so now I don't really have to worry about the troller. And we're pretty much dropping, we're actually right on them. And that fish is already on me. Should get a bite here. pin and perch to the bottom. Now I'm right down in the mud. No luck. And that is literally just how it goes. Dropped into a pack of 3 fish. They followed it for about 20 feet and then just faded off. That's how it goes. So reel back in and keep going on the hunt. Alright guys, so that's obviously what it's supposed to look like. These ones are made by Angler's Choice. Just gonna thread that on. Just like that, and then a nugget of worm. All right, we're back in action. Got him! Yeah, nice! Nice! What we got? Walleye? Oh, nice! Wow, nice fish! Talk about wanted it. Bam! There's a nice fish. Probably 23, 24. Looks like he's been caught a couple times actually.
Nice ball.
All right.
Good bud.
Wow, that was a textbook LiveScope fish, guys. Saw that fish 25 feet down over 40 feet of water. Still throwing as we just rigged back up with. Oh, if I can get it untangled here. If I can get it untangled, there we go. All right, just a nugget of worm and a swim bait. And I'll give you guys, help you out a little bit. You can ask in the comments too for the exact, but this is a 3-inch bait, green pumpkin. I think this is actually a Canadian company. I'm not sure. Is it? I don't know. It looks like it. Yeah, it's got a Canadian US flag on it. I don't know. Anyway, good bait. They work good. No affiliation. They work good. I'll let you guys know. So it's pretty cool. You could definitely troll through here on the with the 2D going and find some fish and catch them. But man, that LiveScope today seems to be making the difference. That's got to be, I don't know, 8th. I don't think if you were trolling you'd be doing this good. We're able to really find a fish, lock onto it, and make a precise cast, and literally drop that jig in its bedroom and just say, "Hey, come on, come over here," and they crush it. So, all right, pretty cool. There's nobody around. It's a beautiful Wednesday off from work so far. Doesn't get much better than that. So, yeah, let's keep doing it. All right, folks. Taking a little breather. Made a couple phone calls, let some guys know where some fish are. And time for some go-go juice. The good old dew. It is 7:30 in the morning. Don't tell my mother. I approve. That's good stuff. All right. Well, wish I had a cup holder up here. All right. So, let's see what we got around here. Nothing right now. So we'll do what we've been doing. Pop it off the spot lock. Get the jig in the ready position, basically. And let's go look around. This wind is starting to really pick up, so we'll see how much longer we got out here. I don't feel like beating the new boat. We've had a great morning, so if anything, we'd go hide inside the break wall and maybe try to pick off a few in there. Ah, shoot. So that's something to talk about, guys. Just had two really nice marks pop up on the screen, and I saw them at about 100 feet. Ooh, there's a mark. I saw them at about 100 feet, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get a little closer. And honestly, I got a little too close to them, and I knew I did. But a lot of days it doesn't matter, but today, especially with the wind and waves blowing the way it is, the boat is smacking the waves. And so what happens is when the boat's smacking the waves like that, the fish basically hear you coming and they get out of the way. And like when you're trolling, it's not a big deal because all they do is just make a big circle behind the boat and they come, you know, back into your trolling gear, or your outside planer board goes through them or whatever. And like 9 times out of 10 from what I've noticed, they still bite. But when you're live scoping and you need them here, right, and they scoot out away from the boat, like see that right there, how the boat just banged? When you need them out in front of you here, it makes it very, very challenging if they're gonna act like that, which it seems like they are. So I have to keep in the back of my head, I have got to stop at about 70 feet and try to make a cast for them, which is a little tricky as this wind starts to pick up. So, all right, let's keep cruising around. Wow, talk about a totally different scene, guys. Nasty off the windmills, 0 wind here in North Gap. Let's see what we can do. fish on, guys. Got him. I don't know what this is gonna be. It could be a walleye. Could be a bass. Oh, nice walleye. He wanted it. Check that out, guys. Nice golden color. That's sweet. All right, throw him back. Wow, that worked very well. So just throwing this little swim bait with a nugget of worm. And it seems like today they don't really like when you're popping it. They want it more just straight reeled. And rod loaded up, fish on. And so that fish was pretty close to the bottom, about 5 feet up, and it crushed it. So we're gonna start looking for more of those marks, I guess. Let's go see if we can catch another. Alright guys, totally forgot to do an outro, but sitting here at the gas station and ended the day. I think we ended on like 9, maybe 8, 9, 10. I don't know, something like that. But either way, that was a phenomenal day. We could have definitely kept poking away even more if the lake didn't get roughed up there, but it did. And from what I heard from the other guys, it got rougher and rougher. So probably made the right call, scooting in, and we found one in the North Gap, so that was cool. But 8.6 Riversider, Buffalo Tackle, and Okuma Fishing with the Okuma Sapphires. They're smooth drags. I like the handle they got on. I got like a T-style handle on them. They're nice, they're comfortable in the hand, and they're real light, which is cool. So appreciate you guys for watching. Hope it was a cool video for you guys. I know the LiveScope can be a little boring, but it is pretty crazy to watch fish, you know, to attack the bait basically out in suspended water like that. So that is gonna do it for today. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Today was day 2 of 7, so hopefully we can get out tomorrow and probably try to do the same thing, maybe at a different port. I don't know, we'll see what they bring. So appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.